Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to Pacific Paradise, and welcome back to this island we are creating. We are on the PC version of the game, Steam version of the game, which means we have a bunch of PC related controls, and for anyone who's new here, they are W to go forward, S to go back, A goes left, D goes right, Q goes down, E goes up. If you push and hold the right mouse button, that pans the camera around. But that's not all. As we come down close to the beach, we are going to bring out from the toolbox the little yellow life raft, because R rotates, T transforms, C copies or clones, delete, well that deletes, and if you have something selected and press F, that focuses. Is that all? Is that everything I need to know? No, well there's a couple of caveats. You see, we have these three brushes. We have smooth height, set height, and raise and lower height. You have to be aware of these things because they will catch you out. The amount slider, if you crank it all the way up, and now smoothing the sand on the outside of your island, and then you go, ooh, I'd like to raise a little terrain here. And then you left click after selecting raise and lower height. Well, that amount slider is still all the way up because they are inherited between each of the brushes. If I were to left click now, just once, there will be a spike all the way up to Mercury. Mercury? Isn't that orbiting the sun? Yeah, it's a pretty big old chunk of island just poking out into space. So what you need to do is grab the amount slider, move it all the way down. When you are done with the brush, if you make a mistake, there is no undo. The easiest way to fix a mistake is just to go out to the main menu and then come back in again. You will lose whatever you haven't saved in the meantime, but save often. Anyway, we are doing our Caldera build. This is a caldera. It is an extinct volcano that has seen some action, and it is not unusual for the Pacific, being that there is a giant ring of fire, and we're not talking about you after, I don't know, spicy taco night. I don't know what people eat that's spicy these days. Spicy nudes. But. Considering we have such a massive island, it doesn't look that big until we come to the edge of the buildable area, hit terrain, hit the cog, and then display ocean. And then we realize that actually the island is about as big as it can get. This giant cake of sand, well, there isn't much sea around the outside, which means we have to get a little creative when we are placing things like wrecks. Yeah, that wreck barely fits on our island, which means we've had to put in some cliffs and then lower the sand in a sort of semi-realistic manner just to fit that on there. And we also have an aeroplane which is also just hanging out over the void. Last time what we did is we came here and we have a bunch of island spires. Yeah, let's call them that. Let's turn the ocean back on and go to objects so we don't have the brush moving around. And we put these in last time. We put these in when we put the airplane in. And then what we've done is we've come along and we've added a bunch of wildlife. Well, wildlife, flora. Flora is what we've added. So trees, we've added bushes, we've added plants, we've added a bunch of stuff. And the wildlife will find it. The birds and the fish will come once you up into the main game. And it looks pretty good. Instead of a bunch of bare rock, we now have a lot of greenery, and the rock is broken up by these more organic shapes. It's looking pretty nice. We have this big old slope of earth, and unfortunately we haven't done anything with it, so we're going to need to do something with this. We also have our military installations over here, and including the groins on the beach. So we've pulled the beach out as much as we can, around maybe a third of the island. Some of the beaches, however, well, they are as close to the void as you can get, and while we have our lava tunnel, and yes, there is a lava tunnel underneath there, it is so close to the void that, well, we can't really drag the beach out any further than it is already. So we just have to get creative with cool little pathways and things that go up the sides of the mountain. But why are they here? Well, if we go through the forest, which is kind of on the side of the mountain, we have ourselves a little hut, a little research station. So the narrative that we have been telling ourselves is that there have been volcanologists on the island. They were on this side of the island and they were just setting up camp. They were just kind of keeping an eye on the volcano itself. And on the other side of the island, as we scoot over here, we have the World War II remains, or maybe the 1950s remains. And we have one of the forts. As we come down, we can actually peer inside it. So it's all largely blocked off, except for the stairway which goes up. And then above here, we also have our radar tower, which is kind of cool. And now all of this is made up of objects. If we push ourselves through the terrain, boop, 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 there we go. Yep, a bunch of objects that are underneath the world itself. So we're going to need to keep an eye on that when we come to testing the map. But wait, there's more. Yep, you can probably see already that there is a bit of a problem. Also, there is a bit of a problem. As I move the camera around, as I pan around the island, because there are so many objects and because there is no camera, like constant velocity, every time we get close to an object, the camera slows down. If you have a bunch of objects stacked up, the camera slows down significantly, and it can look, I mean, we are full speed ahead here and we're not going very fast. It can look like you have frame loss or some issue with frame rate. It's not that, it's just the game. It's just this particular area of the game. So yeah, if you see something that looks like stuttering, it's not, it's fine. It's just the game itself. But wait, there's more? There's more, because this episode, what we are going to be doing is dealing with this mess. It's a mess. We got rid of the shoreline rocks last time because they were a pain in the butt. And while I really love this over here, this little thing that we've got going on, and I'm quite taken with putting boats in the island and just using the top of them as a building because, you know, as we calm down, yep, there's a whole ass boat there. What we don't have is access to this thing. This thing is fine, but we got a bit of a problem. We got a couple of problems. First of all, let's get our camera out of the dirt. This sea fort here is only being utilized for this bit here. It's a bit of a problem. There's also a giant boat stuck in the back of it. So if I click on it and I pull it forward, we have sea fort. And that's fine, but we need to do something with this. We also have a boat here, and I'm just going to get rid of that. Get rid of that, and we have a wreck here. Now, we could have turned this into some sort of radar, but you know what, I'm going to get rid of you as well. And I'm going to focus on the sea fort. But how do we do this? Well, interestingly, we might be able to do something with this. So I'm going to need to smash my face into the dirt once more. If I hold down shift, it could get a little bit spicy. All right. And I want to see how close this boat is to everything else. Well, that's not great, but it's not the worst. So it's kind of pushing in a little bit over the back end of this. All right. All right. So there is boat there. We got some rocks and things here. And some trees and bits. Right. So what I've done is I've been looking at this area and thinking, we could do better. We could do a lot better. We need to do better. But how do we do better? And just leaving my subconscious, didn't want to press that, leaving my subconscious to deal with this. I didn't want to press that because that is free camera look in War Thunder. And quite often when you play a lot of games, you tend to, yeah, your fingers remember the wrong buttons from wrong games. So what we're going to do is going to put this in such a way that it kind of looks okay here. Right, that does kind of look okay here. Put down into terrain. No, I like it. I like this I-beam just slightly off the deck. That's fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can clear out the inside. Because it's fine having all of these forts, but you know what? We're not utilizing them. So what we're going to do is hit terrain, hit the middle brush, which is set height, read terrain paint height. I'm going to change the size of the brush down so we don't have the big blue circle just getting in our way. And then what I'm going to do is read it from here, just below the metalwork of the outer walkway. And then if I left click and hold, that pushes the dirt down, but it can only go down so far. Oh, now if we crank the amount slider up, get that moving slightly faster. There is a slight issue with this. So what we'll do is we'll come inside and we will push it back. Now we need to perhaps be very careful Because what we need is not the dirt to disappear around the outside and create a void. Otherwise the player will just fall in between the building and what we are clearing out. That would be, well, terrible. Also, there's a big old hole in the middle. But I think what we can do is, as we scoots this back, reveal the inside, we can just kind of like have that there, filled with dirt. Right. There's another thing we can do as well if we get super stuck. So I don't mind having rocks and things poking in here. Let's push that back. We might need to be a little careful as we go further back. I need to know where the walls are. Where are the walls? Whisper to the walls and they shall whisper back. Oh no. Okay, so just pushing and hold the left mouse button, and that is just opening this whole area up and doing something that Stranded Deep does very terribly, and that is having an underground area. So we have one underground area, which is a lava tunnel, which we've created by putting a lot of cliff pieces over the top. Oh, we can have some dirt down here, that's fine. A lot of cliff pieces over the top of... Let's go back down. Basically just cutting in the ground. So that's cool. So that's the back wall. Where's the other back wall? Here. Okay. Which means we should be able to push this stuff back as well. And then we have to go outside and just check and see what we've done. What mess we have created. Look at that. Boat hull. Boat hull. Right. Yeah. So this is something of a mess. It is? Yeah, look at that. Something of a mess. So we're going to need to do something here. Can't leave this as it is. So we hit objects. You are going to need to move. I'm sorry, but you just have to move. There we go. A little rotate should be enough. Let's see. Is that any worse for wear? No, I think that's fine. Okay, that's cool. Let's move the boat hull out. This now is a slight issue. As is this. So what we've done is we've pushed all the stuff away. It actually kind of looks cool. Oh, I do like that. Those I-beams just poking into the dirt as if it's actually holding the place up. Oh, I might leave that. Oh, I might leave that. Oh, you might leave that. Oh, I might leave that. Right, so we have some cool stuff here as well. I don't mind the tree kind of clipping in there. I don't know if we can select that. We can move it out slightly using the toggles. And there we go. There we go. So this is going to be another one of those ones where we just move backwards and forwards, trying stuff out. So what we're going to need to do is probably hold down shift, pull away from the wall. Right, yeah, we need to do something about this. Because, well, that ain't good. That's a little dangerous. A little dangerous? Yeah, a little dangerous. So we hit train objects, we've got nothing selected. And what I'm going to do is hit up rocks. Hello, rocks. You're my friend. Are you my friend? Yeah. Rocks are friend. Unless you bite them. I'm looking for Cliff 6. I don't know why. I was so taken with Rock Biter. I was just like, oh, right. Wait, Rock Biter had rocks as friends. But that was the never-ending story. Ludo from yeah, of course it was. Ludo from Labyrinth also liked rocks. Rocks are friends. So I'm putting this here. I'm deliberately chonking it into the back of the back of the installation. So we have all this rock. Oh, yeah, see? Not just a pretty face. Not just a pretty face. Mwah. Right. So that area there is kind of off limits. So if we hit R to rotate, we've got to be very careful. Because that happens. So what I want to do is slide it sideways. So I kind of want this doorway to be open. But I need the back wall to be kind of cut off. There we go, that's kind of neat. I have to do something there. Maybe do something with that. Hopefully the player can still scoots into here. What are you? Oh, what are you? Yeah, what is this? What is this nonsense going on here? Oh, it's a shoreline rock. Ah, hello. I'm going to move you up now. And then I'm going to keep moving you up and out, using the toggle, so you can go off into space. Because that would look very terrible. Alright. Let's see if we can select this, which we have, and just push you back a little bit. There we go. I just want this area clear, because you don't know how big the cliff actually is going to be. You don't know how big it's actually going to be. Oh, we can just go up. We can just go up. There we go. Boop. We're up and out. Right, that shoreline rock, where did you go? You're here. You're floating, and you're here, and you are gone. Oh, alright, goodbye. I'm going to get rid of you as well. Make sure I selected the right thing. Give it a little move. Cool, right. I'm going to get rid of you as well. So is it terrible going back and fixing things that you've done before? No, not in the slightest. I am glad the amount slider was down. I accidentally left clicked over here and I could have biffed the map up something terrible. You could have biffed it up something terrible? Yes. It wouldn't have been good, you know. What is this? Oh, it's the boat hole. We'll put a rock over that. It'll be fine. Will it? Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll fix it. We'll do it live. Cool. Yes, I'm just smoothing this back a little bit. So what we need to make sure is that we don't have any big old holes that people can just fall into. And we got some holes here. Oh, well, I'm sure we could fix those. Yes, I'm sure we can too. I'll just put some rocks in here. That rocks... Oh, the toggles are a bit odd, but sure, we'll do that. I just don't want anyone getting stuck in there. I'm moving the camera in a 3D space, mostly because the toggles allow you to do that, but also... There we go, it's better. Also, I still want to keep these bits here. Oh my gosh, the camera does not want to move. There's a window there and it opens onto some air. We've got some of these bits here, that's fine. There is like a hole in the ground. There is a hole in your mind. Right, what we'll do is put a rock in here. Because that looks like a place where a player can get stuck. And players will get stuck. Believe me. I know. I'm a player too. Right, so we'll do that. Can we just get in here and just have a little look and see if it's clipped through? It kind of has. There's some dirt there as well. What do I do about this dirt? That over there as well. Right. We'll go to set height. We've already read the terrain paint height, so the amount should be set. I'm just going to left click real quick. Okay, that's fine. Use a smaller brush, a much smaller brush. Yes. And then just see if we can paint this back. Why are you not painting back? Oh, because the toggle... I need to find the right triangle. And it's there. Down, down, down you go. Right. Yeah, because it's done based on triangles. Try the mouse slider up a bit more. Make it a little faster. Oh, I can't get the last bit of triangle. Okay, fine. Is it there? Is it there? Nope, because the geometry is in the way. Geometry of the building is in the way. Do that there. And oh, yeah, I can't push the cursor through the building. Oh, I can if I believe. Okay. Okay. Let's scoots out of here and just see what mess we've made. Up we go. Whee. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Right. So speaking of not too bad, can we get down here, down alongside the tree? I think it's something like there. Yeah, alright. Good. And that means the other one, it's going to be... Ooh. And here somewhere. Be you? Okay, fine. Scoots back. It's awkward. It's awkward. I'm not going to lie. Objects. Big rock. I want a big rock. I need you to be right here. There you go. Your brain was working on this all the time? Yeah, it just didn't seem to make sense that we had all this stuff and we weren't utilizing it. So let's utilize it. It'll utilize it as not only a way down from the upper hillside to the lower hillside, which is what this now is, but also it adds a bit of interest, it adds a bunch of treasure, which is all going to be here anyway, and it's a bit of danger. So if you drop through here, you're going to break both your legs and you'll be sad. Really? I mean, I'm not you, but I imagine breaking your legs is going to make you sad. Made me sad when I broke my foot. Oh, why did rock move? Come on, rock. Flat, 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 flat. It scoots up. Okay, right. So I'm just going to add some rocky steps here. Rocky steps? Yeah, rocky steps. Slide you sideways. And then back a little bit. C to copy. Back a little bit. Forward. Down. Back a little bit. C to copy. And then just do the same thing to here. Oh, there you go. There you go. But wait. Oh, yeah, we need to advertise that these are steps. How do we do that? Well, in other places in the island, what we've done is we've put copy a pair of these. Really? Yep. Just to denote where an entrance to something is. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I was thinking that too. It is wonderful. Well, it's a bit of... Ooh, is that a bit of boat? No, it's a bit of metal work. That's fine. We can do the same thing here. In fact, if we start off slightly that way, copy it. So just hit C, next set of steps here. If we hit R to rotate, we can rotate them around. Okay, copy, T, up, sideways, back, down, up. Okay, it's a little dangerous because there is a big old hole there, which the player can obviously throw themselves down. Players will do that. Did I tell you how like gremlin-y players are? They're little gremlins. They'll find a way to throw themselves off, over, or under something. So we'll do that. And just do that. There you go. There you go. And then we'll do this as well. Just a little thing just to denote. A very different word, but sure, why not? There is something here to investigate. There is. Yep. I'll rotate. I'll transform. Good. Good. I need to put something in here because that's dangerous. That is a one-way ticket to getting Stucksville. Shoreline Rock 1? No, we know from experience you never put Shoreline Rock 1 down, otherwise you'll never, ever, 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 ever get rid of it again. Unless you're us, in which case you're very lucky. He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy. Oh. So yeah, we'll just throw a rock in there and fill it up. It's the easiest way. Business. It is the American way. Business. It is the British way. It's the Muppets Christmas Carol. Okay, I think that might be alright. If anyone gets in there, they're a fool. We're going to have to fill that in, aren't we? Yeah. So the trick is not to end up with a bunch of rock in the actual building itself. But if someone does fall in there, then they can extricate themselves fairly easily. It's, I mean, we're not going to turn this into a kiddies paddling pool. We can't protect the player from themselves forever. They are going to do some stupid things, so we'll just... That'll do. We'll have left the windows open. Cool. Back up. So we've got some rocks along here just to stop the player from falling in. I think what we'll do is move this one forward because it's not obvious that is what that is. And if we use a big rock too, we can rotate you over so we get a flat side, T to transform, and then lament that the axes don't quite line up. That's fine. There. Oop. There. Good. Wonderful. That's better. That's better. That's better. That's better. Good. Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. We have a big old rock here, but I'm not that worried about having a big ass rock in the building. I suppose we could move it. It would make a little bit more sense for it not to be there. How big are you? Oh, you're very big. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, we can just say that things have fallen off the cliffs over years or down the hillside. And that's our story and that's our narrative. And things have got squished, crushed, or broken. We need to go down. Oh, Q. Why is the speed not working? I'll probably sort that out as well. So hit terrain and just scoots this dirt down a little bit. There you go. That's a better use of space, right? Instead of just having all this filled in. Let's back up because that tree is now a bit of an issue. Objects, left click on tree. Scoots you sideways a little bit more. That's better. That's better. And then I don't think we need to be too worried about this, but just make it a little tidier here with a small rock. I don't think anyone... I mean, someone might try and scoots their way through there, but whatever. They can if they want. We do have a palm tree, but it's sort of not quite where it needs to be, so we'll move that off the railing and it's better. It's now clipped into the building. Oh, that's terrible. That's better. I don't mind some of the greenery clipping through it. It's fine. Yeah, much better, much nicer. Good, excellent. So what we can probably do is go to trees and grab ourselves, ooh, a cocoa bush. Now everyone quite likes bush, right? Especially the cocoa bush. Do you ever listen to yourself? Oh, no, I try not to. Yeah, all sorts of gibberish do I talk. So let's do this. And there's a bit of greenery at the back. Oh, lovely, lovely. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I think something over here as well, because this is fine. But is it fine? Yeah, I just want to separate this path here. I just need this path here to be kind of like open and interesting. Like, we're not trying... It's got still the aloe vera right there. We're not trying to stop the player going down there. We're just trying to say, like, this is a path, you should probably take it. And that looks now more like a path you should probably take, rather than not having that green there. So the bush to the left, bush to the right, that's fine. Bush at the top just covers some metalwork and just adds a bit of greenery to an area that would otherwise be, well, a little bit too grey. You can now view the ocean. You've got access to the I don't know what you would call these bits. Balconettes? It's not a balcony. Yeah, maybe a balconette. No, is a balconette? No, a Juliet balcony is one with a door and it's just a bar across to stop you falling out of the door. Yeah, maybe a balconette. And then you can stand here and just be like, Ich bin ein... Oh, where did you did that one? Alright, fine. So that's a little better use of a sea fort that we had on the island before. We've tried to stop players from falling down the back of it, but we've also opened it up, which is rather nice. I think it's just a better use of this space. What we can do is go to objects, go to rocks, and just give the player something, some way up here. So if we just grab rock, T-transform. I did say I quite liked the metal work, didn't I? Yeah, but I think we're going to have to sacrifice that to ease of access. So that should allow the players to hop up here. Yeah, and it looks like it's anchored into the stone. Good. Excellent. Good. So, let's see. It's a tour of this humble abode. Well, you walk in and you've got a big old slab of rock ahead of you, but there's some dirt down there. I don't know if you can accidentally clip onto the ladder. That would be funny. I mean, you probably just end up under terrain and then terrified. You've got upstairs, you've got at least one of the doorways is open. Yes, because there's nothing over there, is there? No, and then you can get to the top up here. So yeah, and you got to be a little bit careful, mostly because there's a bloody great big hole that you could fall down. But otherwise, yeah, I think that's a much better use of that area. Yeah, definitely. And that ties in better with what's going on over here. So this is the radar and control. We've got a utility building. I don't know, maybe ciphers or something are kept there. And then you've got a larger storage or maybe an accommodation block. Cool. Excellent. So the World War II section of the tour, I think we can leave that for the time being. It's got a bunch of stuff just to try and stop players from getting stuck. But otherwise, yeah, I think we can just move on from this section now. We definitely need to add a bunch of stuff to the outside of that side of the island and then kind of fill in the gaps all the way around. And then we got the Caldera. And the Caldera is, well, it's got a boat in there only to give us a sense of scale. I'm pretty sure we don't need to do much with the Caldera. I think just the spectacle of it being big and open is probably enough. Although, I mean, there's a part of me that just wants to freeze the water, replace it with a couple of big sheets of maybe glass or, I don't know, glass fiber, and then just have a helicopter just fly through the middle of it. You know. But hey, you only live twice, so I'm going to leave it there for the time being. If you like this video, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe. It is more important than ever, especially if you've got to this point in the video, to subscribe to channels, since YouTube has just made a massive change, which is doing channels a disservice. And we are losing views like nobody's business. So if you can help out, if you can share the video or you can comment, then anything that you can do really helps. And I tell you what, I'll catch you next time.